Hello students, welcome to Mr. Martirone and Mr. Walter's flipped lesson.
Alrighty students, welcome back from break. This unit we're going to talk about the age of absolutism, and in particular, absolutism in Spain.
Now, the age of absolutism kind of comes directly after these big superpower European countries were exploring. And this is kind of what the map actually looked like during this time period. And you can see that you can still make out Spain, you can make out France and England and Portugal, but Italy, the German regions, there are a bunch of micronations or smaller regions that are controlled by a king or maybe like a lord, and they don't really have complete control over a whole country.
Here you guys can see Italy still divided into the city-states. Germany, just a hot mess of existence here. France, England, Spain, and Portugal are the countries we know them today, and those are the countries that we're going to focus on. In particular, Spain.
So this section in your textbook is called Extending Spanish Power, and Spain will have the very first absolute ruler, the very first ruler that answers to no one inside his country. So that means no Congress, no Parliament, no lords. He is everything. He is in charge. But how does Spain go from having lots of checks and balances to only having one king?
All right, well, the story of Spain begins in the 1500s, where Spain is no longer a feudal society. All right, because of something that happens in the 1400s, that's right, you guessed it, Christopher Columbus's voyage to the New World, he brings back all these goods from the New World to Spain. As a result, Spain is going to become a lot wealthier. They're going to become a lot more powerful. And the king and queen that we talked about was King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. They funded Columbus's trip to the New World. So Spain, as a result, is going to take real ownership in this age of absolutism.
So, a descendant of King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella is a man by the name of Philip II. Now, he was the son of Charles V, who is directly related to King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, but that's not really what's important. What's important is what King Philip does. First, he extends the power of the office of kingship, and how he does this is this. He says, you know what? I am an absolute ruler. That means I have 100% authority. I don't have to ask anyone for permission to do anything. And he says, where does this right come from? He says, well, I was born with it. I was born king. God made me king, and so he thinks he has this divine right to be the ruler. And students, remember, you can't understand the whole rest of this unit if you don't understand absolute monarch and divine right. Absolute monarch means you answer to no one, you are solely in charge, and where he says he gets that power from is divine right.
Great advice, Mr. Walter. All right. Philip he's got several accomplishments. Okay, number one, we said he makes himself absolute ruler of Spain. He controls all parts of government and dominates all parts of governments, and he believes in divine right. Additionally, as far as religion goes, Spain is a Catholic nation. He supports the Catholic Reformation. Okay, he stops any Catholics from converting to Protestantism, and he persecutes any Protestants that are in Spain. As far as the arts go, okay, that idea of Renaissance is still going on. Philip II supports the arts and commerce and learning. He sets up schools for science and mathematics, and he also encourages painters and writers to participate in the culture.
Lastly, when we talk about wars, and this will be Philip and also his descendants, they're going to build a very strong navy. Remember, if you control the seas at this time period, you have a lot of power. And in 1571, the Spanish Navy will defeat the Ottoman Empire on the sea, and they will be the undisputed powerhouse of the world for a very short period of time. As you can see, though, the English Navy will defeat Spain in 1588 and will then take over as being more powerful on the sea. But for a short period of time, Philip is an absolute ruler in his country, and because of the riches coming in from the New World, Spain itself is a world power.
All right, Spanish Empire didn't last too long. Okay, Philip II's reign was brought down because he spent way too much money, which is what we call deficit spending. All right, he relied too much on gold and silver from the American colonies,
which a lot of people thought would be there forever, that they could just rely on gold constantly coming in, and eventually that does run out.
Thanks, Mr. Walter. Okay. He spends so much time focusing on topics abroad, he neglects his citizens at home. And as a result, the middle class, it's always the middle class that's getting duped here. The middle class felt they were being taxed too much, and soon Philip II lost support within his government. And that concludes the extension of Spanish power. If you feel that we've gone too quickly, you can watch this video again. Be sure to complete your Flip Classroom guide with your packets, and you want to read this section in your textbook.